Sorry, Mrs. Blaine. That medicine should have been delivered an hour ago. I promise you. It'll be over in 5 minutes. Where's Mrs. Blaine's box of capsules? Why didn't you deliver them?
I couldn't.
Why didn't you deliver them? What kind of trick are you trying to play, young man? Don't you know the Blaine's boys are sick?
You're hurting my sweater, Mr. Gower.
You lazy loafer.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong with those capsules.
What are you talking about?
I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram today, and it upset you. But you put something wrong with those capsules. I'm sure you did.
How do you mean?
Just look and see for yourself. I tried to tell you when you were filling out the order, but you wouldn't listen. But look at the bottle you took the powder from. It isn't right. I swear it isn't. Don't hurt my ear again. I won't tell anyone, Mr. Howard. I promise. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. That I won't.
And you did too. Remember? That was the night she met Mary Hatch. Of course, you'd known Mary all of her life. She had grown up 3 or 4 years behind you and was always there, in the background, tagging along until one of you boys noticed her and sent her on her way. But that never stopped her. Not her or any of the girls. They all had their eye on you, especially Violet and Mary. You didn't take the bait until the night of Harry's graduation party. There, you danced at Charleston all night with Mary Hatch, until someone dropped and tripped the lock on the moving gym floor, and everyone jumped, or fell, into the swimming pool.
It's time for the trials of life.
You want to dance?
I'm not very good at it.
Neither am I. All right.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Hot dog, just like the church choir.
Beautiful.
You should have seen all the commotion in that locker room. I had knocked down 3 people to get the stuff we're wearing. I bet over half your class jumped in that pool.
Half the town said it wasn't a good idea to build a gym floor over a swimming pool. I wonder who turned the key.
Probably someone jealous, because you chose me to dance with him.
You think, baby?
Here, let me hold that old wet dress of yours.
Do I look as funny as you do?
I guess I'm not quite the football type. You look wonderful. You know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will say. How old are you anyway?
You can't ask that.
Well, I am.
18.
18? Why, it was only last year you were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh, no. Just right. Yes, sir, your age fits you. You look a little older without your clothes on. I mean, without a dress. I mean, younger. You look just, I'm sorry.
Sir, my train, please.
Pops upon me for a clumsy lap. Your caboose, my lady.
You may kiss my hand.
Mary.
As I was wandering down the street.
Okay, then. I'll throw a rock at the old Granville house.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
No, you see, you make a wish and you break some glass. And you gotta be a pretty good shot nowadays, too, with so many windows already broken out.
No, George, don't. It's full of romance, that old place. I'd like to live in it.
In that old place?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would live in it as a ghost. Now watch, right on the second floor.
What'd you wish, George?
Well, not just one wish, a whole handful, Mary. I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, and the next day, and the next year, and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm going to go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields, and I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high, and bridges a mile long. Or are you going to throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish, Mary?
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight?
Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. What'd you wish when you threw that rock? Come on, tell me.
If I told you, it might not come true.
Well, what is it you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. And then what?
Well, then you can swallow it and it all dissolves, see? And the moonbeams shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much?
Yes, you are.
Who's that?
Why don't you just kiss her instead of talking her to death?
What? Aw, you know it's wasted on the wrong people, Ernie.
You're telling me, Bert.
Just wasted.
Hey, hold on. Bert, Ernie, come on back here. I'll show you some kissing now. Turn your head around.
George, come over. Your father's had a stroke.
Huh? Oh, Mary, I'm sorry. I've got to go.
Well, George, let's hurry.
Did you send for a doctor?
Carol's there now.
Oh, I'll probably end up down at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes, I do. What are you doing tonight?
Not a thing.
Are you game by? Let's make a night of it.
I love it, Georgie. What'll we do?
Let's go out in the field and take off our shoes and walk through the grass.
Huh?
Then we'll climb Mount Bedford up to the falls and smell the pines and watch the sun rise against the peaks. And we'll stay up there the whole night and everybody will be talking. There'll be a terrific scandal.
Walk in the grass in my bare feet? George, have you gone crazy? And Mount Bedford? Who would want to climb all the way to the top of Mount Bedford? It's got to be a 10-mile hike at least.
Okay, forget the whole thing. It was just a crazy idea.
You're telling me. Good night, George.
Well, there you are.
Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Yes, so I noticed. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
Well, about what?
Came to visit. Your mother phoned and said you were on your way over.
My mother called you? Well, how does she know?
Didn't you tell her?
Well, I didn't tell anybody I was coming here. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by.
Well, you want to sit a minute?
Well, maybe just for a minute. I want you to know I didn't tell anybody I was coming to. When did you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's okay. I thought you'd go back to New York like Sam and Itchy and the rest of them.
Oh, Well, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know, I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? To Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, oh, everything. Aren't you staying?
Well, maybe just for a minute, but I want you to know I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here.
Would you rather leave?
No! I mean, I don't want to be rude.
Then sit down. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you?
Mary! Mary, who sat down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? And what does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing.
He's hugging and kissing me, Mother.
Well, you tell him to go straight home, and don't you leave the house either. Sam Wainwright has promised to call you from New York this evening. There he is now. Good night, George.
No, wait a minute.
Mary, get the phone.
Hello?
Hey, you big doll.
Sam, how are you? Guess who's here? George Bailey.
What, George? Put that old son of a gun on the phone right now.
George, it's Sam. He wants to talk to you.
Me?
Hurry, it's long distance.
Hello? Sam?
Well, George Bailey-Oski. Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
Well, what do you mean? Nobody's trying to sue your girl. Here's Mary.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell me how to get on the extension.
He wants you to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
Right here, George.
Right here. Now we can both hear. We're listening, Sam.
I've got a big deal coming up, and it's going to make us all rich. Hey, George, remember that one night Martini's bar where you told me you read someplace about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Oh, yeah, soybean, sure.
Well, Dad snapped up the idea. It's going to build a factory outside of Rochester. Here's the point. Mary, you're on this too. Now, George, have you got any money?
Money? Yeah, well, a little.
I want you to put every cent you've got into our stocks. And I may have a job for you too. That is, unless you're still married to that broken down building and loan. This is the second biggest thing since radio. I'm letting you in on the ground floor. Mary!
I'm here.
Will you tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime? You hear the chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Now you listen to me. I don't want any plastics, I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married, ever, to anyone, you hear? I want to do what I want to do. And you're... Oh, Mary.
George.
He was doing just fine. But George Bailey is not a common ordinary yokel. He's an intelligent, smart, ambitious young man who hates his job, who hates the building and loan, almost as much as I do. A young man who's been dying to get out on his own almost since he was born. A young man, the smartest of the crowd, mind you. A young man who's trapped. Yes, trapped. Into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, or do I exaggerate?
Now what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, I want to hire you.
Hire me.
That's right, George. I want you to manage my affairs, run my properties. I'll start you off at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year.
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, maybe a couple business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? You know this is me. You remember me. George Bailey.
Oh yes, George Bailey, whose ship has finally come in, provided he has the brains to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building in Love?
Oh, confound it, young man. Are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract starting at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, I guess I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if it would be possible for you to give me 24 hours to think it over.
Sure. You go on home and talk it over with your wife.
I'd like to do that.
Meanwhile, I'll draw up the papers.
All right, sir.
Okay, George.
Okay, Mr. Potter. No. I don't have to talk to anybody. I know right now, and the answer is no. Doggone it. You sit around here and you spin your little webs, and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. You, and that goes for you, too. And it goes for you, too.
Come out tonight, won't you come out tonight, won't you come out tonight?
Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. I promise you. You're what?
My baby.
You mean Mary? Are you on the nest?
In a manner of speaking.
What is it, a boy or a girl?
Extra, read all about it. Local boy wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Every building be decorated by the president. Extra, read all about it. Local boy wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Every building be decorated by the president.
Give me one of those. Those failing boys again. Oh, I can't believe this.
Well, good morning, Mr. Potter. What's the news? Well. Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal. That couldn't be one of those Bailey boys, could it? You just can't keep them down now, can you, Mr. Potter?
How does slacker George feel about it?
Very jealous. Oh yes, very jealous. He only lost 3 buttons off of his vest. Of course, if slacker George was able to go, he would have gotten 2 of those medals.
I know. He has a bad ear.
Doctor. Was the doctor here?
Yes, I called him right away. He says it's nothing to worry about.
Well, are you running a temperature, little one?
I don't think so. Just a teensy one. 99.6. She'll be all right.
You better get back upstairs, Susan. This floor is cold.
It's Lowry. She needs a drink.
Now!
I'll bring a vase of water up in a minute. Now go along.
It's this old house. I don't know why we don't have pneumonia. This drafty old barn might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
How do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. I'm sure she'll be all right. The doctor says she'll have to be out of bed in time to have her Christmas dinner.
Is that Susan's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello? Hello, Mrs. Welch. This is George Bailey. I'm Susan's father. Say, what kind of a teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that half naked? Do you realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia on account of you?
George!
Is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for, to have teachers like you? Silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on? You know, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids, maybe they'll have decent clothes, but all that stupid...
Mrs. Welch, I'd like to apologize. Hello? She's hung up.
I'll hang her up. I'll get it. You don't need to make a fuss about it.
What did you say? You've never been born. You don't exist. You haven't a care in the world. No worries, no obligations, no $8,000 to collect, and no Potter bearing down on you with the sheriff.
Say something else in that ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it now.
Well, that's the doggonest thing. I haven't heard anything out of that ear since I was a kid. Well, what's going on here?
Well, you see, George, it's all right.
To town. Let's sing it up. Leave you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh!
Dominic?
That's my name. This is my poison. Want some?
Where's your wife? Where's Mrs. Martini?
Dominic, knows your name. No, we gotta sing.
I saw her just a minute ago. Her and lots of women and children too.
Where? What are you talking about? You ain't gonna snitch on us, are you?
She's home. They're all home. And that's what makes it a happy holiday, doesn't it, gents?
Oh, look out. Here comes that panhandler again. He's caught up to us.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, come on, let me in. Promise I'll remember. It's time.
Hey! One of you got a dime or two to spare? Or a drink? I'll settle for a drink.
And when he isn't around, he leaves quite an awful hole, doesn't he?
He saved the lives of every man on that transport. It was headlines in all the newspapers.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't around to save them because you weren't around to save Harry. You see, George, you really did have a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it all away?
Clarence?
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
Well, I don't think.
If you know where she is, tell me.
I'm not going to like it.
Tell me where she is. Is she alive?
Yes, she's alive. And she never married. But something's happened. She's not the Mary you know. George, I don't think you should see. There must be a better way to get my wings!
Mary,
Who are you? What do you want?
it's me, George.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Mary.
Get away from me! I'll scream!
No, what happened to us, Mary?
No, don't touch me! I can't get anyone to touch me!
Mary, it's
No,
me,
somebody
George.
help! Somebody, please!
I'm your husband, George. Clarence, Clarence, help me, Clarence. Get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and my kids. Help me, Clarence. Please. Please, God.
What is this, George? Another one on the bank? I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George.
I'm glad to do it, George. Anytime for you, Mr. Bailey.
George! I made the rounds of all my charges.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
I changed my mind, Georgie. I'm not going to go.
Thank you.
Listen up, everybody. This is Justin from London. Mr. Gower cables, you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright. Congratulations, George.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Harry, it looks like I got here just in time. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'd like to make a toast to my brother George, the richest man in town. George, I almost forgot. Some crazy old man handed me this in the airport. Told me to give it to you personally.
Tom Sawyer. Who would give you a beat-up old copy of Tom Sawyer?
Dear George, remember, no man is a failure for best friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence. A Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine, just like all of you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, George.
Listen, Daddy.
What, darling?
Hear the bell? Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Hark the